Hey, what is going on, everyone? Happy Friday to all the gamers out there. What exciting Friday! What a great week! What a great day, actually. The end of the week, and it's kick off Labor Day weekend. Holy shit! I can't believe the summer's gone. I mean, I don't even know where the time went. This summer just like flew by in a blink of an eye, and I just don't know where it went. Where it went, but we are kind of through that slow lull that in gaming where we kind of go through a little bit of a drought, and we're getting a lot of content release coming out this week. Control released Tuesday. Astral Chain came out today. That game is fire. If you didn't catch the last Basement Radio Arcade podcast from Wednesday night, definitely check it out. We actually discuss whether or not Nintendo has the best exclusives out of all three platforms, and I kind of think that maybe it does. Or if not, it's getting there. Xbot448, what is going on, my man? Hey, by the way, guys, seriously, you guys need to check out Xbot's channel. I'm a big fan because the guy is so enthusiastic and positive. And I just love his enthusiasm. Xbot, um, he podcasts on Saturdays, I think at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, definitely check him out. What's up? Finite Rich says Battletoads. Gaming Forte's in the house. What's going on, my man? Big shout out to Forte. Um, so yeah, guys. I mean, we are through that lull period, that slow period of gaming. Like I said, Astral Chain came out today. It's exclusive on the Nintendo Switch platform. If you haven't checked out the game, if you're a fan of Platinum Games, you may be a fan of this game. It's an exclusive again from Platinum Games, and I feel like it kind of fell out of the sky, jumped out of nowhere, and Nintendo revealed it at a Nintendo Direct a few months ago. It caught my attention when I saw it, and it's reviewed pretty well. It's about an 88 Metacritic, if I'm not mistaken. So if you have a Switch, you may be inclined to check out this game. So, and then next week we have finally, if you're a Xbox Game Pass subscriber, if you're an Ultimate Game Pass subscriber, you will get early access to Gears 5, or as I like to call it, Gears of War 5 Ultimate Edition for free on Game Pass. Technically not for free because you're paying for the service, but you're not paying $60 or $80, whatever the retail version goes for the Ultimate Edition. That comes out next week. And if you didn't catch it on Brap this Wednesday, go back and listen to the podcast. We have our weekly Slow Mo Says, so where Slow Mo Backslap gives his Metacritic predictions for new game releases. He said, I believe it was an 88 Metacritic for Gears 5. I'm going to go with 93. I'm the outlier of the group, but I'm going to go with 93, guys. That's where I'm at with this. That is where I'm at. Gaming Fortes is playing around. Forte, are you playing Battletoads or are you playing Astral Chain? I'm assuming Astral Chain. Punk Kiddish in the house. DMV Gaming, baby. Ryan Landis, what's going on, man? Says I'm going to get Astral Chain, but I have to wait. Money. I hear you, man. I hear you. So, Xbot. I may be joining you guys on Crossfire tonight. Got to check with the missus first. Gaming Forte says 91 for Gears 5. I think maybe 93 based on some of the previews that we heard. So, a couple things, guys. I wanted to talk about Gears 5 because we have finally have Finite Rich says it's a 92. I can see the future. I can see it being a 92 based on previews. Again, this is previews, but I will say this: a lot of the previews came out from Gears 5. Some journalists were flown over to Vancouver at the Coalition Studios. I know Jez Corden was one of them, and there's some others. But Windows Central, by the way, check out Windows Central. Jez put out an article regarding Gears of War 5, and look, I mean, look, if you guys are new to Brab, one of the things that I typically do outside of talking about video games is that I typically like to discuss um, or make maybe social commentary, if you will, about gaming culture, things that I see in social media as it pertains to gaming. So I'm going to incorporate in this rant some of those things related to Gears 5 and some of the reaction from the community. But I kind of want to go back a little bit. So Gears 5 previews sound good. I'll get into the previews here in a little bit, but I do want to go back to something because it's interesting. The previews came out. We know about gameplay. Actually, we confirmed gameplay footage, or we actually confirmed the length of the campaign on Wednesday night's BRAP, where we said it was going to be 15 to 20 hours. We know that because um, I got one of the panel members, and I'm not going to name his name because I don't want to get into too much detail. But anyhow, um, one of the panel members who met the developers behind Gears was told this and shared that with us on Wednesday night. So confirmed on Wednesday night that the campaign was 15 to 20 hours. Great. I think that's awesome. Also, that the 15 to 20 hours depending on difficulty, and then also how much time you put in some of the side quests, which I think is really cool that they've made that addition to the main campaign. So um, going into Gears 5, I think a lot of us, and look, I have been a diehard Gears of War fan since Cliffy B came out on stage, Microsoft stage at E3, and announced Showcase Gears of War. And I got to say, guys, I was like, wow. So, for a lot of us that were coming off the OG Xbox and coming off the high of that console, um, Gears was the next latest and greatest in terms of what the Xbox platform was to offer in terms of first party or exclusive content. And it wasn't a first party studio; it was Epic Games, but it was exclusive to Microsoft. And coming off the OG Xbox that had Halo, which obviously kicked off the launch of that console, and then the birth of Forza, which in my opinion dethroned Gran Turismo. Uh, you know, um, Gears came out, and Gears was a damn good game. Gears had campaign, and it had multiplayer, and it had damn good multiplayer, and a damn good campaign. I mean, that was like for us, like who, and I used to do some console warring back in the days, but for us, the beauty of the Xbox was like, yo, not only do we have great exclusive games, and not only do our exclusive games on the Xbox 360 have awesome campaigns, but they have awesome multiplayer. Xbox 448 says, so people are hyped about Gears. Nice. All that worrying for nothing. Yeah, in hindsight, it's good to know that potentially that some of our fears, and I wouldn't say fears because I'm going to go into the word fear, but some of the concerns that people had, and I was one of them, that people had about Gears 5 because we didn't see campaign footage at E3. Some of that I think has been alleviated, which is great. I think it's awesome that we've learned about the campaign, what to expect. But I do feel like this is something that probably should have been shared at E3. But I'll get into that in a little bit. So, kind of take you guys back to my experience with Gears. And look, I'm a huge fan. I actually like Gears more than I do Halo. I think Gears is a better franchise than Halo now. Some of you may disagree, and that's fine. But I do think that Gears is a better franchise than Halo right now. And you had these moments where you really connected with the characters in Gears. Um, you think about Dom and Maria, Dom's death, Maria's death, that punch in the gut, your connection to Marcus Phoenix. And the Gears 1 to 3 were just phenomenal games. Gears 2 is probably my favorite, but the franchise was solid. Probably I believe all the three Gears games were, above 90 Metacritic. Uh, and Judgment being the only game that was kind of poo poo. Finite Rich agrees with me. He says, "Me too, bro. Halo kind of sucks." I don't know if I would use the word suck. I just don't think Halo is what Halo used to be. And I have some theories behind that I'm trying to get Lord Cognito on from the Islanders because we discussed some of the issues we have with Halo. Um, but that may be for a later podcast. So Gears 4 comes out. Not a bad game. The multiplayer was definitely the shining point, strength of that game. But I want to go back to something. Every Gears game that had come out or had been announced, they'd always show campaign footage during the announcement or shortly thereafter. Campaign was like such a central point. And look, as I have been gaming for almost 4 decades, started gaming back in 1982 on the Atari. And, I'll say this. If you look at the track record or how the developers behind Gears of War have always presented the game, there's always been campaign footage, either at the time they announced the game or shortly thereafter. It's been a staple of how they've it's been their behavior. It's the norm for them. And so as me being a huge fan of Gears, and I'm going back to kind of explain this because this ties into um, something that I've seen more recently and things that have been said to me in DMs. Gaming Forte says I have a lot to say about Halo, the downfall of Halo. Forte, maybe we should me, you, and Incognito should um, get together, man, and do like a Halo podcast. Ryan Landis says there was plenty of reasons to worry. It's awesome that everything is looking good, though. I agree with you 100%, Ryan. Um, so, as a huge Gears fan, and I'm thinking about my experience with Gears, my experience with the presentation of the franchise, and how developers always handled and presented the campaign. Um, when when the coalition announced Gears 5, we saw a little bit snippet of Kate. This past E3, I think a lot of us, based on the history behind Gears, based on historical presentations of Gears of War, we all assumed that we were going to see some kind of campaign footage, that it was going to be discussed, and we didn't. And that was kind of odd because E3 is a big stage. Sony wasn't there this year. It was really Microsoft's time to shine. Xbox says, I think Xbox. I'm going to get to your point. With Control. Um, I actually don't think Control looks awesome. I think it looks okay. I think the character models aren't really done very well. The lighting, shadowing, the atmosphere is probably its shining point, and the gameplay movement in true Remedy fashion is janky. But I may discuss that later on in the rant. Shirzad Khan said he said, "Should I get my ex back?" Maybe, man. Maybe. All right. So if I'm thinking about like the historically how they've always handled Gears and presented Gears, and campaign's always been a feature, something they've always addressed. Um, and it was odd. It was odd for me, and it was odd for a lot of Gears fans that they didn't see this. And so for me, anytime, and I'm thinking over Jesus Christ, I've been watching E3 for 18 years. Um, been following the industry through magazines. Whoa, geez, since the late '80s. But I will say this: anytime, and I don't think, hey guys, and I think a lot of you guys would agree with this. Anytime that a developer holds back a certain piece of a game that we know is going to be there, let's say it's multiplayer or campaign, because you got to remember the developer's going to go out, they're going to highlight the strength, whatever strength it is that their game does, whether it's gameplay, um, whether hey, what's up, Megatron? Megatron says right now for me, it's about Gears 5. Um, the Don says, yeah, you can't look at things historically anymore. The gaming industry is changing and changing quickly. Yeah, I mean, I understand the gaming industry is changing, but how does it impact? If you're a game developer, you're going to go out there and beat your chest and highlight the strengths of your game. We've seen it with God of War. We've seen it with other games that Microsoft's put out. We've seen it with Sony. We've seen it with Nintendo. What's going on, Daniel B? Um, and so it was odd. It was odd. It was very odd. And look, they showed us campaign with Gears of War 4. So again, my experience is typically when developers hold out certain aspects of a game, it's typically the thing that's probably weakest in that game. You got to remember, developers are looking to garner interest, create buzz. At the end of the day, their job is to sell games and make money. And I just found it odd. I think a lot of us did. A lot of us were, and given Microsoft's track record with first party exclusives, and if you look at Metacritic, if you and you can tell me Metacritic doesn't matter, but look, those things do matter. Aggregate scores do matter. Whether you agree with it or not, they do. They matter. They play a role. Um, if they didn't play a role, companies like EA wouldn't be giving bonuses to developers who hit certain Metacritic scores. But so, hey, what's up, Crispy Bomb? Slow Mo's in the house. What's up, Slow Mo? So it's interesting because, and I think about, well, wait a minute, why they showed campaign footage of Gears 4, they didn't show Gears 5, and I'm thinking about times where I can draw back from memory where developers have shown certain aspects of the game. Those certain aspects they didn't show were kind of weak points, or necessarily weren't necessarily strengths or bad things about that particular game. And and so I'm thinking back about all this, and just look, my years of gaming, and following E3, and the reveals, and how developers choose to show things, and Microsoft's track record. Look, you can, if you like games um like Crackdown 3, that's great. I'm not going to disparage anyone for liking that game. I personally did not like it. Um, and No, Luca, you cannot come through because you're just going to tell me to shut up again. Um, I'll just read the live chat, guys. So look, and just given like Microsoft's, given Microsoft's, track record, I think with exclusive first party content, Crackdown 3, State of Decay, anything else. Look, Forza. Look, you could say, I know someone's gonna say, "Oh, what about Forza?" Yeah, Forza, great. Anything outside of Forza, has kind of been like meh for Microsoft first party. And I will say this. So that kind of plays into, at least for me, some of the concern. And not that I thought it was all doom and gloom with Gears, right? I didn't think it was doom and gloom. But look, there was a lot riding on this game. There was a lot of talk about this is the biggest Gears franchise ever. or this is the biggest game we've ever made. Rod Ferguson saying these things, and then we're hearing all these things and how this is going to be the best gears, the biggest gears, but we don't see it. We don't see the campaign, and so again, think about the track record that Microsoft's had with their first party exclusives. I'm thinking about how they've typically handled the franchise in terms of revealing gameplay or campaign. I'm thinking about when developers hold back advertising or showing certain aspects of a game, typically because it's a part of a game that is not necessarily the strong point of a game. And you know, and so yeah, and myself and the panel here on BRAP and other people came out and said, hey, we are concerned for these reasons. It's they're not showing campaign footage. Is there something wrong with the campaign? Why are they not showing it? Again, drawing back on previous experiences with other games and with how they handle the franchise. Now, I will say this: there isn't anything wrong with offering criticism. Like it's like there's this idea I feel that prevails out there that you can't criticize the things that you love. It's actually healthy to criticize the things that you love. You should question the things that you love, criticize the thing, and constructively do so. Now, there were people out there that were going, "Oh, they didn't show campaign footage because Gears is gonna suck." I think that's a little bit different than saying, you know what, hey guys, given Microsoft's track record with first party this generation, given how they've handled the franchise and revealed campaign in the past, given the lofty expectations that the developer itself has placed out there to the gaming community, saying that, hey, Gears is going to be the biggest game, this is going to be the best Gears ever, and we don't see campaign footage. Yeah, as a fan of that, as a fan of the game, you're going to raise your eyebrow probably and say, wait a minute, what's going on here? You know? So there's a difference between voicing and being and having constructive criticism versus going out and just saying, "Oh, Coalition sucks balls." There's a difference, and it's interesting. Unfortunately, a lot of us who are big Gears of War fans got lumped into this thing of, well, you guys are fear mongers, which is a funny term. Um, and, 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 um, and jokingly, and I would get DMs telling me, Enrique, you're being too negative. So voicing a concern as a consumer and giving reasons why, and not and reasons that aren't console war reasons. Now I'm fear mongering. Now I'm being negative. I've even had people unsubscribe from BRAP because they felt like myself, the panel, they felt like we were being they felt like we were being too critical, too negative, and that we should have just kept quiet and you know just kept quiet because it's the coalition, it's Gears, everything's going to be fine. Well, I mean, yeah, we know that now, but we didn't know that then. And sometimes, look, sometimes in game development, I mean, we've seen issues where, look, we have seen games, we have seen storied franchises take a left turn. We've seen that. Mass Effect, anyone? I hope that's not the case with the upcoming Dragon Age. Um, so there have been issues. And if you weren't, look, and if you weren't concerned, that's fine. That's cool. You know, but I do think it's a little disingenuous though, for the people that actually voiced concerns and provided the reasons as to why they were concerned, and not fanboying, not console warring, but saying, hey, look, here's why A, B, and C. I think it's a little disingenuous to sit there and say, oh, you guys are fear mongering. Shame on you. You guys are, you guys, You guys don't believe in the coalition. Stop being so negative. I was joking around today and I said, because I got lumped into the fear mongering thing again today, and I said to somebody in a DM, and I said, to those fear mongers, to the people that are labeling people who have legitimate concerns as fear mongers, we will refer to those individuals as enablers. And I got a nice laugh out of that. But I won't do that. I won't, so Eddie T says fear mongering seems to be a new narrative. Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, and a lot of us, and it's interesting. It's like if you had any criticism, regardless if it was constructive or not, you were kind of lumped into that pool of fear mongers. And like for me, like I wasn't going out there and trying to instill fear and worry into people. I was just saying, hey, look, this is how I feel. This is my concern. I find it odd that they're not showing the campaign when the campaign has been a staple of the game of the franchise. You know, I've even talked to some developers offline. Some of them, you could probably guess, who've been have come on the show before, um, and kind of surprised too. Um, so it's again, I bring this up because it's kind of a dumb narrative in some way. And I've seen this word going around, and it's stupid. I find it to be stupid, and because again, I think it's healthy to offer constructive criticism to even the things that you love. I mean, as consumers, you should do that. You should question things where they're not up to par or up to standard for you. Again, I think a lot of people have the idea that if you're a fan of something, you can't be critical of it, and if then that's to me that's dangerous because then you never hold these companies accountable for maybe not providing you the kind of service or experience or joy that you want out of whatever product or platform you support. Shirzad Khan City says 2019, everyone is sensitive. Dave Chappelle said it. Xbot448 says, Enrique, come on, it got a little ridiculous though. Yes, I am not saying that it did not Xbot. There were certainly people out there that were console warring, but there were a lot of us out there that are diehard fans of Gears. And I got DMs, man. I got DMs. I had people uh, tell me I was being too negative, that I was fear mongering. Um, that to me that's the part that I'm like that I'm addressing here. That there were people out there that had legitimate complaints and or not complaints, but just they were concerned, and there's nothing wrong with being concerned if you're being constructive about it. Now, obviously, yeah, you're right, Xbox. There are people out there making dumbass comments, you know, but unfortunately, it's like if you made a comment and you offered constructive criticism, you were lumped in with those other people. And so it kind of became a thing. Luca, give me a sec here. I will. But look, that's kind of like that's kind of what I wanted to just talk about real quickly. Outside of the preview for Gears of War 5. Give me just a sec here. Mm. All right, give me a sec here, guys. I'm trying to get the Ash and Luca in here. Give me a sec here, guys. All right, cool. Crispy Bomb wants to know how many hours in Gears 4. I don't remember how many hours of game campaign footage in Gears 4 or campaign, how long it was. Some guy says, I just play games. I don't worry about the politics or drama about it. So you guys want to catch up with some of the. Ryan Landis says, no, 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 no. You must be quiet and blindly believe. You traitor. Ryan Landis says, reason to worry. One, Xbox on their first party launches this entire gen. Two, please see one. Crispy Bomb says, I've been screaming literally that it will be fire. Now, again, guys, the previews sound promising, but the reviews have not come out yet. So we need to see. Like, I don't think we can actually, put a bow on this and say it's a done deal. But it's interesting to see what the reviews are going to be, and they'll be coming out next week, I would imagine, for Gears 5. So. Slow Mo Backslap says, I'm going to play Man of Medan, but I ain't playing no damn Blair Witch. Yeah, I'm not playing Blair Witch either, only because those kind of games kind of freak me the fuck out. All right, guys, so we're waiting for Luca. I think Luca's going to join. And I think maybe Forte might join, but I'm not sure. By the way, big shout out to Eric Jackson, guys. Um, he's actually in Florida. Um, there's a hurricane bearing down. So Eric, if you're listening, bud, please be safe. Same to all of our friends that are in Florida. I know Crap and Italian Clowns are out there in Florida. So gentlemen, be safe. So guys, I do want to read. Hey, what's up? Oh, Luca and Forte are here. What's up, guys?
What up?
Can you guys hear me okay?
I can.
All right. Now, see, I wasn't expecting guests, so now I got to, hold on a second, guys. Give me
I don't.
Guess
Let's
sec
see here.
here.
Can you hear me?
I can. I need to, hold on.
Wait, so you can hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I'm like, sorry. Like I said, new computer and new setup, so I'm just making sure all my stuff
Ooh,
works.
did you get a fire, like the gaming rig or just like a.
Oh no, just something so I could do the podcasting stuff.
I wanted to get that PC.
I know you want me to go over to Destiny on PC.
Yeah, where you can dominate just like you do on console.
All right, hold on a second,
Man,
guys.
dude, I was using. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Enrique.
Yeah, I gotta because like here's the thing, like with Hangouts, if I don't log into another account, then like I gotta like tap my icon for me to like pop up in the chat. It's really annoying. Give me just a sec, guys. And I'm gonna mute myself here too.
Hashtag first world problems.
All right.
What is this?
Oh, okay. Well, okay, I'm gonna do some Destiny talk then. So, I was using Peacekeepers with the Recluse Forte. Oh my god.
Yeah, I can
It was
imagine.
bad. It's like I never used SMGs before because they were trash in my opinion, and I definitely didn't want to use the Peacekeepers. I'm like, this is a trash exotic, but now it's like, oh, this is actually not a trash exotic because I have a great weapon.
Yeah, we hear you.
All right, perfect. Sorry about that, guys. Again, like I had to do like this thing. It's like this workaround with Hangouts. Shit.
The login twice.
Yeah, you know about that, Forte?
Stressful.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. I was like, yeah, look,
Luca,
he's logged in twice.
it's really stressful. Like I love the overlay, but I'm not
It
gonna
looks
lie.
really nice, man.
Yeah, big shout out to Graphic Guy, by the way. He hooked me up. Um, I do need to get a computer though, like a new one, so I can do like some graphic stuff. I want to do like Forte dancing in the background.
What?
No, I'm just joking, man.
I mean, hey,
Oh God, here we
you
go.
want to drive all your viewers away? That's cool.
No,
You mean drive them forward?
Yes, exactly,
Oh.
Luca. They want to see Forte. They want you to wear that Borderlands 3 mask, and they want you to dance in it.
Oh, that Borderlands 3 mask, huh? It's awesome.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. So that I kind of wrapped up my rant on that one subject before getting into the Gears preview because I do want to talk about that because it does sound exciting. Like I read it, I'm like, okay, this sounds like really cool.
Okay, well, oh God, here we fucking go. Can you stop encouraging him, please?
Who?
Like, can you please stop it? Him.
Who's him?
Him. And listen, Enrique, look at Nautical.
What does he do? Okay, hold on a sec here.
You can't see what he's doing. He's
No.
put on his fucking mask from Borderlands and is dancing in the background like you suggested.
Yes, do it. Do it. There you go, Forte. Look at that. That mask is kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie.
It's pretty dope.
It is. It's kind of hot in there.
Yeah, dude. Don't pass out. Do not pass out on the show.
It's hot.
Actually, we
It's
might
hot
get
that bad,
we
man.
might get views if you do that.
Hey, did you see oh yeah, you tweeted out. You saw the tweet that Randy put out from the conference, didn't you?
Yeah, Forte. I just want to say you are a handsome looking man.
Oh man, thank
Okay,
you.
can we?
It's called 56 pounds lost.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I can tell the difference. You look
Okay.
really you look great, man.
Yeah, no, you do look great, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
It's good. Keep up the good work. I'm glad they discontinued those Popeyes sandwiches so you can get over that addiction and not go back there.
Oh no, I got over that addiction. I only had 4 of them total.
You're like, I only had
and,
15. No big deal. NBD.
No, 4. Only had 4 during the time, and now that they don't have the sandwiches no more, I'm crying inside. Wish I would have got more.
Yeah, but no, you look great, dude. Just keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Yeah, but okay, so the thing of it is, Enrique, is that you can't let people, what's the word, group you into something that you're not a part of. So if you feel like you weren't part of the quote unquote fear mongering group, then just tell people like I wasn't a part of that group. Don't associate me with that stuff.
Yeah.
However, I would say that, and I said this before, didn't I? I said it on your show a couple months ago. I'm like, Enrique, you better hope to God that this game is exactly a fucking problem because I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna act up if it's fine. And you're like, listen, Luca, okay, all right, whatever.
I do.
You know?
I do remember that. But Luca, let's hope the reviews are good too.
We'll see how the reviews go. But all I said, I was like, listen, I'm sure the game will be fine. I don't think there's anything to worry about. People were concerned about the length of the game. People were like, well, there's only like four motion cap scenes, so that means the game's going to be like 2 hours long. And I was just like, what's wrong with you guys? What's going on? Now, I understand that as a gamer, you've been here for a while, you've been in the industry and enjoying games for a while, and things have gone a certain way. But let's not act like Microsoft has not been doing everything the exact opposite the last couple of years. They don't market shit. The last couple of the games they've had have been concerning, sure. But for me, like I stated before, the Coalition has not given me any reason to be concerned about Gears at all.
Right.
Gears 4, I mean, it wasn't perfect, it wasn't phenomenal, but it was a good game. It played well, it looked well. It wasn't like the Coalition is Bethesda or now BioWare. If they were Bethesda or BioWare, if they didn't show anything, yeah, I'd be like, I don't know, guys, this is a bit concerning. But I feel like if a studio hasn't given you any reason to be concerned about something, then you shouldn't be concerned about something until you have a reason to actually be concerned about it. And just having rumors and speculation in the whole, well, they didn't show us anything, therefore they probably have something to hide. I mean, there's other cases where people and this is like, it wasn't Bethesda because they published the game, but the ones who made Doom,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't show anything for Doom, and then Doom 2016 ended up being great for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's just like, for me, I feel like it's just better to wait when it comes to a lot of these instances. That's the same way I felt with Spider-Man, because people were bitching, whining, crying, complaining about Spider-Man. That shit was super annoying as well. And I was just like, can we wait for the game to come out before you guys make all these predictions and say, oh, it's just going to be another Spider-Man game. It's going to be trash. It's going to be this and this and this, only for the game to turn out to be great and to look great and to do well. And I just feel like, given the fact that we've been in this community and you've been here longer than me, I feel like at this point, it's like, no, maybe I shouldn't be so quick to jump on this. I think there's something to worry about. I think I should be concerned about this just because I didn't see anything yet.
Yeah.
Given how often we as a whole, all of us, are typically wrong about the stuff that comes out.
Yeah. I mean, I valid point. Again, for me, I do think that the campaign for Gears from the previous Gears, like Gears 1, 2, and 3, to Gears 4, I think there was a little bit of a fall off there. That's my opinion. I'm not, some people think Gears of War 4 was like the best campaign, but I think from 1 to 3 there was certainly a fall off. Obviously, it wasn't as bad as Judgment, but I think there was a little bit of fall off. And so I didn't think that it was going to be like doom and gloom. Like, I wasn't like, I did see people out there saying, "Oh, this game's going to be shit." Like, I didn't say that. I didn't think it was going to be shit. I was concerned. I was like, you know what? Let me see. Let's hope for the best. Let's see, what's going to happen. And because a part of that too, I think part of it for me was they had come out and said, "Oh, this is going to be the biggest Gears game ever," and blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, well, that's great, but we haven't seen that yet. So what's going on? And but I mean, there was definitely people out there though that were out there saying dumb shit like this game's doomed or it's going to be ass. And like, no one can say that because we haven't played we haven't played the game yet. So Forte, any thoughts on this, man? As you are praying?
As I'm praying.
Dear Father God.
No, man. I mean, for me, when this conversation started over at E3, it's like I feel like a lot of people were just judging the game harshly just because they didn't see anything when it came to campaign footage, and that was like really worrying to people. And I always in my mind was like, look, it's going to be a Gears game. I mean, they're not building it in a new engine or anything, so it's not like what they give you is going to be completely drastically different, and they're not going to really show off any new twist in some type of campaign trailer to give away spoilers in a game. Just know you're going to get the classic type of Gears campaign, and the things that they do within that campaign are going to be the things that people are going to either love or hate about it. I just feel like it's a mob mentality type thing. I understand because people do YouTube. When you do YouTube and you do podcasts and everything, you kind of talk about your feelings, the scenarios, and how you feel about something, and people kind of gravitate positive or negative to that. You got people that want to defend something, you got people that want to be down on something, and most of it just comes back to people not really having their own opinion on stuff. They always want to take on the opinion of somebody else, and if they even feel slightly how that person feels, they're like kind of full bore in that direction instead of just taking a breath and looking at it for themselves, saying, hey, what is this game really going to be? I was never really in any way worried about Gears, because even though Gears 4 was not the best campaign, I know they even came out and said that this was one that they wanted to play it safe on, because they wanted to prove to everybody that they could make a Gears campaign. They wanted to make a competent game and still have all of the aspects of the game that's going to be what people love the most about it. And that stuff was there, but it just wasn't something that over-delivered like most people wanted it to do. This game, I think they want to over-deliver. That's why you're starting to see, especially all the expansions that they're adding into the game with the new escape mode. They're adding more things into the horde mode. And then the campaign they're finally starting to talk about. And you're starting to get a little bit more of a deeper dive into exactly what that's going to be, but they're still not going to give you the full picture. And I think the biggest problem people have is they really don't know what this campaign's about. Going through every Gears of War, with the exception of 4 to an extent, because it kind of like branched off and went into a continuation at some point, but it was still kind of new. Where this one isn't really, it's kind of a continuation, but you really don't know what direction they're going to go in this one. And I think it's not a complete continuation like the original first 3 Gears is. So when you booted up Gears 3, you kind of knew where you were going. When you boot this one up, you kind of don't know where they're going from Gears 4 because they're kind of taking a different approach and a different focus. And that's what people are kind of worried about. Like, what is this approach going to be? What is this focus going to be? Literally a week and a half. Your questions are going to be answered by then.
Yeah, and some people will get to play it sooner because they'll get the Ultimate Edition or
yeah.
You know, for me, I just like, and then the opposite could be said because I was one of the few people who was like, honestly speaking, I'm not concerned about the game. I don't think we have anything to worry about right now. I think we should just wait. And then I had people saying, well, because you're not concerned, you're stupid, or you're dumb, or you don't understand how these things work. You're this and you're this and you're this. And it's like, I could say the same thing, Enrique. It could be the exact opposite for me. People lump me in with a group saying, well, you're just a fanboy, Luca, which is why you're not concerned because you should be concerned because I'm concerned. I hate that word right now. I am concerned.
Luca, you should be concerned.
Why? There's nothing to be concerned about. They have not given any reason to be concerned. Luca, you don't know what you're talking about because you're a fanboy and you suck Xbox dongus and this and this and this. And I'm just like, listen.
Did someone really tell you suck Xbox dongus?
No, I'm just being hyperbolic. You know how I like to use hyperbole.
I was like, that's aggressive as shit.
It's very aggressive. But yeah, no, it's for me, I'm just kind of like, all right, listen. I'm going to wait for the game to come out. I'm going to wait to hear more. I'm definitely not going to take a tweet that Kid Smooth puts out speculating that the game may be 6 hours long and then do a podcast about it or do several podcasts about it and make tweets about it and be like, well, if this is true, then that's definitely a bad thing. It's definitely an L. Like, listen, can we maybe use some critical thinking here? Is that too much to ask, guys? I mean, I'm not trying to be mean or anything or cruel or anything like that of the sort because I am a nice person in theory, abstractly. But I was really annoyed mostly. I had to mute a bunch of people because people were getting on my fucking nerves about this Gears thing. I'm like, can we wait, please? Can we wait until we actually see something? No, you dumb bitch. It's going to be trash. It's going to be 5 hours long, and it's going to be 2 acts, and fuck you, Luca. I'm like, all right, cool.
Oh,
whatever.
my God.
2 acts. Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's wow. But, it's interesting. I had people come at me and tell me that I was being negative and fear-mongering. I'm like, I'm just offering my thoughts. Like, that's cool if you don't agree with me. But I'm not, I didn't have this, I don't have this agenda against Microsoft or Gears 5. I even think of it like that, Slow-mo backslap in the live chat says he has concerns.
Why though? That's the problem. Like, what? That's the biggest question.
He's just saying I have concerns to trigger me or
whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that's slow-mo. Yeah.
And slow-mo.
Yeah. This is an interesting comment. Elicus speaks as Enrique pretending that he doesn't know that his criticism is used by fanboys is like Trump pretending his criticism isn't used by white supremacists. It's convenient but kind of silly. Okay.
Hey, Punkadish.
Well, you also got to take into consideration, like something like that, how much of the concern that people put out there is basically just to trigger people on the other side.
Oh yeah,
you kind of can't tell the difference sometimes because sometimes I think the trolly comments are the ones that get the most attention versus when people actually have really truly genuine concerns about something. But the biggest thing I always notice is if a person has genuine concerns about something, it's something they talk about early and they continue to talk about it throughout the whole process versus right before the game comes out and then they start saying, I have concerns about this. Well, where was these concerns 3 months ago?
And then even for the concern thing, so before Fallout 76 came out, I was one of the few people who was like, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Given Bethesda's track history and their track record with things, and the fact that a lot of their games have come out broken, and the fact that they've been trying to monetize mods, and they've been doing a lot of shady things behind the scenes, I'm a bit concerned about Fallout 76. Now, I got dumped on because of that, only for it to be, for me to come out victorious once
be vilified.
Luca wins. I had to calm the fuck down when people were getting on me about that because I was real mad. But it's just kind of like that is a good example of, hey, this developer has a track history of being trash when it comes to these certain games. I'm concerned about the next game coming out because of that history. Not a broad, okay, typically how things are done in the gaming industry, they show things, and if they don't show something, it's a problem. Like that was personally speaking, and I can understand where you're coming from, Enrique, but personally speaking, that was just too broad for me to automatically go to the point where, okay, I'm concerned about this game because of that. Now, like I said, there are so many people in the community who take things and they blow it out of proportion. And for the most part, I've just like I said, that mute button has been popping. Okay, my mute page is out of control. I was like, yeah, I don't want to deal with this, or this. And I just, I would tell people, I'm like, listen, you guys are so annoying. I really can't wait for this to come out. And I hope you're right. For your sake. I hope you're right for your sake, because it's about to be a bad time with me. Because y'all know how I am when it turns out, I'm just like, I took screenshots. People are like, listen, Luca, I got screenshots. Bitch, who are you talking to?
Luca, you have not only screenshots, you have audio. You remember you pulled audio on me from a podcast and I said something?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Like, seriously, receipts. On another level.
Receipts upon receipt. For me, I don't say anything about anyone unless I have proof before I say it, because it's.
Look, man, she has a folder on her computer named Community Receipts, and in that folder is the name of a bunch of different people with stuff in that folder for that person in particular.
That's too funny.
He's laughing, and you guys think he's
I know
joking,
it's the truth.
But I do have folders on people. Yeah, I have folders on people. I have folders on people. I'm like, here's the folder for this person.
Let me pull the file on this person.
Let me pull the file on this person.
You ever thought about going to work for the CIA, NSA, maybe?
Well, for me, it's just good to have receipts, just in case. People try to switch it up way too easily, and it's that one guy who he got on me for being sensitive or whatever after the whole David Jaffe thing. And I was like, not being mature enough to have a conversation. And I pulled a receipt on him from like 3 months ago of him calling someone the N-word. And I was just like, listen, you want to talk about people not being mature?
Yes, I remember that.
Would you like to talk? And I didn't even know who this guy was.
He made a response video.
Yeah, he randomly came across my timeline 3 months ago. I saw him arguing with someone. I saw him using the N-word. I took screenshots, and I'm like, maybe in the future I might need this. Lo and behold, 3 months later, so Guy, you really thought I didn't know who you were. I know. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I remember that. And he made a video, like a response video. He mentioned Brap, and he mentioned you. And first of all, that guy should have never had his face on camera. That haircut, that hairline, that shit was terrible.
Everyone was dissing his hair. I was like, oh, this poor guy. He should have.
You cannot go on camera looking like that. I'm sorry. If your hairline is like that, you can't. You put a hat on.
He didn't know what was coming to him, and I feel for him, man. Abstractly, in reality, I don't feel for him. What a loser! Yeah. Like, come on, don't come after me unless you have something really solid to stand on.
Luca Slomo says Luca screenshots have screenshots. It's like
facts, bro.
Yeah, they do.
That's hilarious.
So I love that. Don't call me Danny. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say. So one of the things, and I was thinking about this a couple of weeks ago, when it came to the Gears of War campaign footage not being shown or just talked about in general. What do you guys think about the fact that they went heavy in campaign talks when it came to Halo 5 with the whole story of Locke versus Chief, and they really dug that in a real big hole with themselves with that, because they ended up having nothing to do with that.
Misleading.
So very misleading. Yeah, it was very misleading. So part of me was starting to think that they kind of shied away from wanting to go a deep dive in campaign, so they wouldn't have another situation where people just they took what they thought it was going to be about, and when it finally did release, it was completely different. I think they're kind of gun shy on that, and I know a lot of people probably didn't.
They're gun shy about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a whole lot of stuff. They're gun shy, and when people talk about their concerns and stuff, I start thinking like, well, Microsoft has their concerns too when it comes to these bigger games, because I agree with Luca when she said in the tweet, at this point, Gears of War is too big to just be considered a failure when it comes to the game. I think this game, regardless of what it is when it comes out, is not going to be a failure. Now, will it live up to everybody's expectations? Probably not. Some people are going to probably want way more than the game has to offer. Some people are going to be like, the game gave me everything that I want to offer. And it really just depends on that individual in general. But when it comes back to that concern thing, I always tell people, just like I talked about at E3, Sony didn't go to E3. They didn't go to Gamescom. They didn't go to. They're not going to Tokyo Game Show, and all they did was release a bunch of information on stuff, and the internet went crazy. So they were still very relevant, and the conversation was still there about all their things that was going on. And then it was very put on point over the week when I posted a freaking screenshot of Last of Us on the screen, and the internet went nuts. So
don't do that, Forte.
We're not definitely ain't doing that again. That's already been pulled down. Mm-hmm. But it's just the fact that lets me know these companies, certain companies, don't have anything to worry about because they know they're in a good place when it comes to their fan base, and they know that they done everything they need to do to move the conversation in the direction it wants to go, and they're going to let their fans be their fans. You know, fans are going to feel the way they want to feel about stuff, and right now Microsoft is kind of reacting to their fans, and their fans are reacting to them, and it's never good when the two are not on the same page. And as of right now, Gears and the fans are not on the same page. You know, it hasn't been that way since Gears of War 3, honestly.
Yeah.
So the more and more we wait, it's going to be until people get this game in their hands on the 6th or the 10th, depending on what version of Game Pass you have or everything. It's going to be a conversation that's going to lead all the way up to that day. So it's just time at this point.
Yeah. Now, what did you guys think of the preview? I mean, I read Jez Gordon's Windows Central article, and I was actually really excited about what he described, kind of this semi open world RPG format. Kind of compares the open world to a game like Metro Exodus, which kind of had that. If you guys have played Metro, it kind of has that open world appeal to it. It's not necessarily open world, but it gives you kind of the idea or the illusion that you're in an open world, kind of like a Fallout.
Hub worlds all over the place.
Exactly. So it looks like Gears has that. And to me, like, that's exciting. I think that to me is is them kind of looking to grow the franchise from that, that corridor-based third-person shooter where, you cut scene, run down a hallway, shooting gallery, to now there's a little more exploration, maybe some light RPG elements. Like you said, Forte, exploring different hub worlds. That excites me. Like, I actually feel like, and I think a lot of us felt like that's what maybe Gears of War 4 should have been like. But reading all this stuff, I gotta say, guys, I'm definitely excited. I'm not concerned like I was before.
Hashtag
concerned. But I'm definitely excited for this game. But
I'm just excited for everyone who'll get the chance to play it, and I hope it's everything that everyone wants it to be and what they were looking forward to. And I think overall everything will be fine, because everything ends up being fine. Also, I know we're not talking, this isn't about Gears, but the Cyberpunk showing is going to be soon. Are you guys going to watch that?
I'm going to try to. I got to get back to work here in a sec, so I don't know if I'll be able to.
I will tell you the Cyberpunk stuff was amazing, because they're going to show the stuff that I saw last week, and what I saw last week was can't definitely not talk about it.
No, don't talk about it. NDA.
It was freaking incredible. I was like, when I was looking at it, I was like, oh my God, the community is going to go back crazy when they see this, because they are going to they are taking Cyberpunk to another level that people are not even really expecting when it comes to the way you can build your character. Oh my God, man. The scenarios that were in place is pretty crazy.
Oh, okay. All right.
A lot of controversy around binary gender.
Oh, yeah. But the way you could build out your character, and it's very CD Projekt Red-ish when it comes to that type of stuff. But they really innovated on it a lot, and it really comes through in just the little demo that I actually got a chance to see. Yeah. I can't wait for everybody else to see it, so the internet can go back crazy on that one too.
Yeah, do you guys feel like everyone's gonna kind of forget that whole gender thing? Like, I feel like that's kind of been
Yes,
an
absolutely.
issue.
It was
Like,
already forgot for a
once
lot
the
of
game
people.
releases, it's gonna be like that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand why that's a big deal. Jay Fonzarelli was talking about that on Brap on Wednesday. But yeah, it's kind of, and I haven't really followed that story or whatever too much. But I've seen
Mhm.
people
Oh well,
I've seen
essentially,
people get upset about the fact that they can't pick a man or a woman or female character.
Your character's what you
I
want it
mean,
to
you could
be.
still choose to be a man or a woman. I don't. I mean, the only difference is it doesn't say man or woman. But Saints
Yeah.
Row has been doing that for years,
Yeah.
so I don't. I really don't see what the concern is. Plus, in a world where you can augment several parts of your body and you can switch out your body parts at the drop of a hat, I don't even understand why gender would definitely not be binary. It wouldn't even be a thing in this future. So
Well,
Well,
that's the part that surprises me, that when I hear people say, "Oh, you're taking away and you're forcing me to do this, and I can't select a man or a male or female character. This is terrible." I'm like, but like you just said, Luca, like that ties into that environment, that the world that the game is set in, right? Like you
yeah.
said, you can upgrade different like parts, whatever the case is. You can be who you want to be. That's the world of Cyberpunk. So it's a design choice to me that just makes sense.
it's
Yeah.
kind of
Oh,
how the
and then
world
I
is.
got like really distracted. Yes, Slow-Mo. The Cyberpunk thing is today. I just retweeted from their Twitter. They're showing it in like an hour and 40 minutes on Mixer
Mhm.
and on Twitch. I think it's a 15-minute gameplay demo. So
Oh yeah, can't wait.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
Okay.
So I
I'm
can
gonna
really
have to
talk
watch that.
about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nautical, are you home?
Yeah, I'm at home.
Oh, okay. Let's go on Destiny.
So,
Oh, yeah,
Luca,
okay, that's-
people. Okay, so this is funny. We talked about hashtag concern, and now people are running with Dungus.
Oh
Oh,
god.
love it. Hashtag loving it. Hashtag listen. What am I if not a trendsetter? The Ashen Luca, the Ashen trendsetter.
You trend so
We're feeling it.
hashtag Dungus is going to be. Oh my goodness! All right, all right, guys. I do need to get back to work. Unfortunately, I would love to chat with you guys more, but I got to get back. So
Yeah.
Hashtag work from home.
yeah, man, I love it. It's great.
All right, boys.
You want a Kate 6, Luca?
Oh, I would. How would I say? I would shoot Cade myself to like so I can redo the Forsaken campaign in real life. You know what I mean? Just to really just put it out there.
You
Nice.
can't do. Yeah, that's true. You can't redo that campaign once you beat it. I forgot. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, we all forgot that Cade was dead, but none of my business.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, Luca and Forte, guys, thank you for hopping in quickly to chat, and I appreciate it. And Luca, I will try. See, it's like this weekend's kind of shot for me, but I'll try to see if I can hop on Scumcast for a little bit.
Yeah, Cyberpunk. Okay, yeah, sure. It's the same time as always,
All right, cool.
which is never the same time as always because I don't have a
Right?
set time.
Is it 3? Is it 5? Is it 9?
It's at 4:00.
Oh, 4. Okay.
All right.
So 5 o'clock for me.
Ryan Landis says, "I'm concerned about the podcast, Enrique." And then, oh my goodness,
I'm concerned
this
about
Dungus thing.
podcasts
Okay, this
sometimes.
Dungus thing is getting out of control now.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, Slow Mo says, "Take the full Dungus." Really, come on, Slow Mo. Jesus.
That will be his new name on Twitter in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's all right. Slow Mo got named Slow Mo Donkey Punch on Crossfire last week.
Slow-mo donkey punch.
Was he the
Yeah.
person that performed the donkey punch, or did he receive the donkey punch?
Mm,
You may have to ask him about that. I'm not here to comment on that. But all right,
He'll let
everyone.
me know when it be.
Suck dongus, Luca. All right, bye guys.
All right, bye.
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 All right, everyone. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace.